Do you live in the US and want fast, fresh and tasty meals without the hassle of shopping or all that hard work preparation? Well, don't you worry, as a lazy man, I've got you covered. Try America's #1 meal kit service, HelloFresh, and get yourself fresh, pre-portioned ingredients delivered direct to your door. So why not eat well, stay healthy, and avoid the cost of regular takeout by trying HelloFresh? Just click the link in the description below for a special limited time discount and free shipping as well. Enjoy. Well, this promises to be the moment of truth, because after a long dramatic European qualification run, today we find out if it's Europa League or Europa Conference we'll be playing in. And hopefully, once the money rolls over from that, we might be able to finally sign a right back. Let's go and find out how deadline day and our final European qualifier go. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 93 of Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back today to play Qarabag in a second leg of our Europa League playoff match. Will we make it through to the group stages, or will it be the Europa Conference we drop into? I kind of hope it'll be the latter from a results point of view. We also face Crusaders in the cup on deadline day. We have a look at the start of the league season. And of course, we look ahead to our first games in charge of Northern Ireland, which is going to be interesting. So if you're looking forward to all of that, seeing how the transfer window finishes as well, then please do put a thumbs up on it. We'll have a quick reflect on a couple of results. We'll have a quick reflection on what's going on in a transfer window. And then we'll go and get into some big games and some other big news. Of course, you were with me for that brilliant win away in Cluj, which wrapped up group stage football. However, it doesn't look like it's going to be the Europa League, because in the first leg, away in Azerbaijan, we lost by 3-2 to Qarabag. Maurice Simpson did get another goal. Neil Daly did score another penalty. But they were just too good. They were the better side throughout, and we probably deserved to lose. The one thing I do want to point out here, though, is I know that we're not the biggest club in the world. I know we haven't got many fans. But one away fan seems to be pushing it a little bit. I think a few more Northern Irish folk would make the trip. Our home to Dungannon note on the first day of the season. We've rotated heavily and we brought in a new signing from the start. It was a 4-0 victory against Dungannon. We'll meet Dermot Lafferty in a minute, but Ben Parry, Tom Robinson and Brian Farmer added one each. A really good start to the season. And you've got to bear in mind, once we're playing Thursday night football, these guys and this team are basically going to be playing every other game in the league. They're going to be the side we rely on to get us results at home to bottom half teams. And they did it. They did it really comfortably. So fair play to them. But for now, let's go and have a look at the new signing, because it is a player I bought in to cover the right wing, but has almost ended up becoming our backup striker instead of McElhatton, because Dermot Lafferty is a pretty good young player. He's 22 years of age, he's Northern Irish. I talked about it for the end of the window, didn't I? Having that bit of versatility. So when we have to play 3 games in 4 days, we've got someone who can play off the bench in 2, start 1. He's a decent finisher. He's got solid technical attributes. He's a good passer of the ball. He's a flair player. And physically he's brilliant, which is what we need. So I'm pretty happy with that signing, albeit it's not the big solution we were looking for on the right wing, but he might well end up being the replacement for McElhatton by default. So for now, we're going to go and move into our first game. There's a lot to get through today, and seeing if we can overturn this deficit to Qarabag is a big part of it. The problem is there's going to be an awful lot riding on us here because of some bad news elsewhere, and the nation is not going to get its coefficient lift this year, because if we go down to the Conference League, firstly, some good news actually, which is I didn't even realise Coleraine was still in Europe. So they went out in that Europa League game to young boys. They then dropped into the Conference League 4th qualifying round, which I forgot about. They did lose 3-0 at home to Getafe though, and I don't think they're going to be turning that around. However, yesterday, Larne secured a 6-1 aggregate defeat against Sion, the Swiss side. It is an awful effort from them. So a bit of a problem for the nation with Coleraine, Larne and Linfield all dropping out, particularly the 2 latter ones who have usually had the qualifying benefits. So I am a little bit worried. We'll keep an eye on that and we'll see how they finish the transfer window as well. But the big problem for us, if we look at our club now, is they're not going to have Thursday night football. So we're going to have the pressure of playing an extra 10 odd games a season. And those guys are going to get games ahead of us in the league. We saw how important that was for us last year. It's probably going to work the other way now. So a little bit concerned about what's happened there. We will keep an eye on the transfer window though. We'll reflect on all that on deadline day. because I'd imagine they're both going to go pretty big. But for now, we're going into our game against Qarabag. I'm not sure if we're going to go all out. We'll probably start positive. We're going to make the changes from the reserve side that faced Dungannon. We'll be back in a minute to run through the team. Well, right back is still an issue as we head into this one. Callum Wilson and Bobby Harvey, the only real options out there. Hopefully that will be resolved by the group stages. The rest of the team's pretty strong. I think Whitehall came in on Monday. He stays in the team with Griffiths dropping out. But otherwise, I don't think you'd have many shocks in there. McElhatton not registered and Pardy also not because he's just coming back from injury. But the team we're putting out for this one is Neil Kane in goal. Williams and Wilson the fullbacks with Mackenzie and Goss as centre-half. Daly and Whitehall the midfield two with Lennon ahead of them. Then it's Puarte and Parry on the wings with Morris Simpson up front. And to be fair, I don't really want to go through. I want to go into the Conference League. I think we'll win more games, we'll boost our coefficient, and we get virtually the same amount of money. However, I do want to be fair in this game. I could have easily played my first team in the league matches and played a reserve side for this, knowing it wasn't important. But if we're in real life, you're trying to make the Europa League group stages, aren't you? It boosts the reputation more, gives you a bit more to play with. So we're going to be fair to it. We're going to give it our all, but I don't expect it to be enough. It's a very good Qarabag side. They've actually got a manager, which is unusual, of course, for a side that aren't in a playable league. And they've got a few good players in there too. So we'll keep an eye on them. We'll go and get into the first half. We'll start positive at home. We'll be at Windsor Park, of course. And again, there's not a big crowd in. You can hear the Europa League music playing out. Love that theme tune from Thursday nights. If you're not, by the way, over on Twitch, we do Europa watch-alongs all the time. So come and join us over there. We watch Thursday night football and have a lovely laid-back chat. And now we're 3-2 down. We've got a job to do as we get the useless shot of Windsor Park. Let's go and get into the first half of the second leg and see if we can turn it around for that small pocket of fans that have bothered to turn up on one touchline. Into it we go. Loving the graphics as always. Qarabag, do not blow us away. Well, how's this for entertainment? We're coming up to half time. We do not get a first half highlight. And Qarabag are doing exactly what Maribor did to us. And we can't find a way through them. To be fair, in qualifying, we've not been good at home in any of the matches, really. We struggled to get going. We drew with Cluj. We drew with Maribor. We've not got that cutting edge at the minute. It is something that's a worry for me. And I do feel I'm going to need to go big with this squad in the last 5 days of the window. Particularly with the other sides missing out on the European places now. Because it means they're going to have stronger squads for the league. Coleraine 3 down at Getafe. They're out 6-0 on aggregate already. And we're now being poached in possession. And if they score here, you'd have to say it's game over. Because there's nothing to suggest we'll score 2. We'll make changes after this one with 25 to go. As Zainalov cuts in from the left. Chance to go short. It's a thunderous effort. And it's just off the woodwork. Mackenzie clears. He looks knackered. Is a bit of a problem with him. Because he played all summer away at the under-19s Euros. And he's absolutely knackered. I might just have to give him a week off when the cup games come around. But again, he'll probably go on international duty then. So he's going to have a little breather. We'll replace him with Harley Jones, who we know has got a set-piece threat. We're also going to go for Ben Parry off on the left for Varma, who scored on Monday. Let's get some of the confident boys on. Whitehall played the whole game Monday, so he'll come off for Griffiths. I'm tempted to bring on Robinson for Lennon as well, but I want to keep strong players on there. We've not really got anyone who can play right wing apart from Lafferty, but it's probably a day to go for something different. He'll become an inside forward on support or attack. Let's go attack. Let's go for it. And then we'll leave the last change just for a few more minutes, but maybe Lennon will be the man to come off. Neil Daly's got a good rating in that playmaker role, but no great chances have come from it as Lennon goes back to Puarte. The sub's yet to be made, but here it's headed away by Qarabag. They're on the counter. Wilson nicks it though for Whitehall. Puarte can take on his man. He gets the cross in. Simpson's up. Hits the woodwork and away. First big chance for Maurice Simpson. And when he has had service in these matches, he has been a real threat for us. Holds the ball up well. Is slightly adapting to a different type of striker. He's playing pretty well overall here. It's headed away by Qarabag again. Resolute defensive effort. But Lafferty wins it back for Goss and Daly. The voice is just about clinging on. It's better than it was last time. But is the performance going to be? We need an exciting finish like we had against Cluj. As Goss picks it up for Jones. We're keeping the ball. We're being patient. But we're not really probing as Lennon. Back to Jones again. Who's going to play that cutting edge pass? Lennon looks for it. Up to Lafferty. Into Simpson. I think he's offside. It was the moment. Lafferty really producing that little gap there. He came into that space between fullback and centre-half, but I think it is off. The flag goes up, it's disallowed. Lennon looked better from the deeper position, but it was to no avail. As Qarabag take the kick, it's flicked on. This could be game over. It's not, though. Kane does well to come and smother it. I don't even know what to do with the last sub, because you've got Goss struggling a bit. You've got Lennon and Simpson struggling. Wilson's had a really good game at right back, weirdly. He's played over the top to Lafferty. He's looking a threat here. Gets in behind. He wins the penalty kick as well. Lafferty has done really well with that. I don't know who the best penalty taker is again. I really need to get these set up. It is David Aitken or Neil Daly. We know who it's going to be. VAR will check it just to make sure. But that is brilliant from Lafferty. He's had 2 big moments since coming on already. It's only been 5 or 6 minutes. But he's starting to look a real threat for this team. Oh, no penalty. He's saying it's not a foul. Not booked in for diving though, which is odd. He is starting to provide a threat though. With only 1 shot on target with 10 to go. We've got a corner kick, but the pressure's starting to ramp up. Lafferty gets the ball as it's cleared from the corner. Into Daly. Wide to Williams. Has support. Shoots himself. It's over. Oh, Wilson struggling at right back now. We've got to get fit players on. And we could have gone for it. I should have gone Puarte right back, really. But instead, I'm going to go for Kean. Not a natural right back, but big in the air. Again, another tall player. Gives us another bit of height. As here come Qarabag from the back. You can just see them nicking one on the counter. They've been pretty much ruthless in this tie. They took 3 chances at home. And here, they've defended resolutely. As Mamadov back to his centre-half. Out to the right-hand side to Hassan Zada. He's got time and space to run into. Chance to cross. The changes are pending, sorry. You know what that means. It's cut back. And of course, it creates a great chance. It's a brilliant save from Neil Kane, though. It's out for a corner kick. 10 to go. It doesn't look like it's going to be our night. We're going to go attacking. We're going to encourage. We're not going to get it at the moment, though, because it's Qarabag who have possession. A big switch to the left-hand side to Ismailov. Bubia loses out in a challenge, and it's back again to Zainalov, the left-back. He cuts it inside to Zamadov. They're comfortable in possession. The referee's only added on 2 minutes. We had a VAR check for a penalty and an offside goal, and he's only added 2 minutes on here. We've had, I think, 9 changes overall as well. I'm sensing a little bit of corruption as Williams gets it at left-back. Last chance saloon now, 30 seconds to go, and he's passed it straight to Samadov. Lennon goes in with a thunderous challenge. Falls for Kian at right-back. Lafferty with the big switch to Varma. Get to the byline and cross it, will ya? Cuts back to Daly. Williams gets there first. He's giving it away again. And that is tie over, I think. Lennon nicks it back, but there's only 10 seconds. It's cleared away by Hassan Zada. It must be it. It must be tie over. And another 0-0 home draw is what's going to hold us back. And the problem is, when we get into the group stages of the Europa Conference now, we're not going to play weaker sides than Qarabag and Maribor. And we've not managed to get wins against them. Through the dressing room, we're unlucky in the end. But there's 5 big days in the transfer window now. We'll find out the draw for the Europa Conference League, but we need to improve this squad. Well, big news at the minute. Thumbnail cover star Stuart Downing has taken the under-20 job for Northern Ireland as well. So he's working with us at Distillery and at the Nation too. 2.5 million in. And do you know what? I take back what I said about the Conference League fixtures. On paper, we've been pretty lucky here. We face Sheriff and we face Vikinger. Both of them have a lower reputation than all of the last 3 sides we played in qualifying. Slovan Bratislava, Luzern and Maccabi Tel Aviv have the same. It's only AEK who are a bigger side on paper. Of course they're going to be tough games, they're experienced European sides. I'd argue a lot of them are winnable, but we've got to try and take advantage with the other sides out in the nation. Let's go and see if we can do it. We'll be working hard in the transfer window. We'll be back on deadline day for Crusaders and hopefully some big updates. We're back for the Crusaders Cup game after a pretty frustrating transfer deadline day so far. We've had a few players that are out of contract at the end of the calendar year, who I don't know whether to offer contracts to based on the position we're in. We've also got players like Reed who are coming in on loan, who is the only signing today, who is a slight upgrade, but he's not quite what we had last year. The only benefit I'm taking out of this deal, we've got an optional future fee. He's 18, he can become homegrown at the club and he's got big potential, but he's not as good as Akumu was last year. So an upgrade at right back, but not the solution, is something. We'll take the positives from it. You can see there, Jaffet and Pardy has been offered a deal by Glentoran. Him and Callum Wilson are out at the end of the calendar year. And in this game, we've got to rotate a bit for the cup, albeit we have got basically a week off after this. Not sure what happens on the day we're managing against Welders and Armenia. We'll deal with that at a different time. Let's go and get through to the team selection. Our former player Ian Walker was to be closed down again. A few of this squad have got a heavy match load, so where we've got quality, I'll rotate. We'll be back in a minute to run through the team, and it'll probably be a debut for the new right back. Right then, if we're being honest, it's probably a bit of a half and half team today. We've brought in 3 new players to the midfield. We've brought in Reed for his debut at right back. And of course, as always for the domestic cups, we've switched the keepers. So we've got Murphy in goal, Reed and Williams the fullbacks, with Goss joined by Jones at centre-half. Mackenzie getting a complete rest to try and protect him. Robinson in midfield alongside Daly. Morgan Griffiths in as the number 10. And then Varma on the left with Poate on the right. Morris Simpson up front. Lennon and Parry are on the bench if needed, but the rest of them, full rest from the squad. We've got a few fringe players in if need be, but hopefully we can get ourselves in the lead and then just rest people later on. Here we go then. Of course, Ian Walker, we've got a bit of history with on this channel. He has played for the Distillery on loan briefly a few years back. Ronan Hale is still going, but as you would expect now, a lot of regen players coming through. We've got a couple motivated and inspired. We did really poorly in the Cups last year, didn't we? Now, with a bigger squad this season, we've probably got about 30 first team players now. We have got to do better in these competitions. We've got to keep people playing. We've got the SPFL trophy. We've got this one and a shield. Maybe it's a chance for us to push on. Welders next week will see a proper reserve side, but this game, I just want to get the job done. As Daly goes back to Goss, he carries the ball over halfway. Out to Williams on the left, who finds Griffiths. Good through ball towards Simpson. He's one-on-one, and he makes no mistake at all. This is why we signed him. That was not offside. It looked close, but I thought he was on perfectly. Timed his run well, but not given by the officials. It's 0-0. But looking at the poacher role, we wondered if with his more target man style we'd be able to play it. He does look like he can still do the job all right. Looks like we've got a few fans in tonight as well, which is great news. Hopefully that will boost the bank balance as much as the 2.5 million we're bringing in from Europe as Poate's corner's headed away. Daly will get there on the edge of the box. Good technician, but can he find the ball? Jones gets it to Williams and Robinson. Poate across the box. Good ball. No one really attacked it though. And again, the flag up for offside. It looks suspiciously close. Have they got something against us here? Poate with a corner. Headed in by Cameron Goss. There you go. That one went backwards. You can't be giving offside there. Goss heads the ball in, gets the old strongman celebration out. The fist pump for him at 1-0. We've definitely been the better side. Well, as you can see from the other matches, Larne and Coleraine already ahead in their ones as well, as Robinson cuts in from the right-hand side. That's one of the poorer shots we'll see in this series. But look, so far we've played pretty well. Reed has done well at right back on his debut, and we're looking pretty comfortable as Daly crosses for Reed, who's up at the back post, heads just wide. Got that little bit of height and presence if we need him. Unfortunately, that one's not on target. It's still only one, so anything can happen. But so far, it's been a very dominant display. We've been in the authority, in the ascendancy. We've not been able to take advantage with more goals. It's still 1-0 at half-time. We've got a few of those fringe players like McElhatton on the bench who need to prove a point. So maybe they'll get on later. As Murphy, not been tested yet, plays out to Jones. Short ball to Reed, the right back. Do we need to protect him later? Probably not, to be honest. As Daly plays up to Griffiths. Through ball is poor. He's not had the best start to the season, but we know he's got the quality to get back into that first team. As Daly in the centre circle to Simpson. Here is Griffiths making a run. He's not found though. Daly picks it up again wide to Varma. 3 in the middle if he can find them. The ball across finds Poate. Good first touch. Cuts back. On his left to Robinson. And it deflects just over the bar. McKinnon did well with that one. But it's still a corner kick. The danger's not gone for Crusaders. Poate's got the chance to put it in. Still a bigger wave following there behind that goal. As Goss is up, headed just away. Is out for a throw-in. But we've started the second half in much the same vein. We're looking really good at the minute. As Williams throws in from the left. Griffiths can't get there. Kopak down the line to Lusty. He cuts it inside. O'Connell can break here. This is the problem with only 1-0. It only takes one moment to turn it around. Hale gets in, but Jones does well with it. Block back out to the left. The danger's not gone. Great ball into Kopak. And it's just wide of the post. There are the dangers with only scoring one. Get yourselves another goal, boys. We need to get this tie wrapped up. And here we are almost immediately with a Crusaders goal kick. Jones heads it away. Puarte brings it forward. The voice is starting to struggle now, but Varma finds Griffiths. Good 1-2. Gets towards the byline. There's 4 in the middle. Has to find someone. The ball across his paw is cleared away. Jones gets it out to Reed, the debutant. He's got support down the line, but instead plays short to Daly. He looks for the ball over. Simpson's in. He's put it wide this time. Why can't you do that when you're onside? When you're offside, you put them in the top corner. And when you're onside, you blaze them wide. We're going to make changes in a moment, but for now, Williams has the ball at left back and we want to get that second. Varma cuts back on halfway. Plays again to his fullback Williams and Daly. Into midfield to Robinson. It's a good ball. Plays wide to Puarte, who nicks in ahead of Laughlin. Puts in Morgan Griffiths and he curls it into the corner. We've seen that so many times from that boy over the years. He's the other one who's homegrown at the club now, so we've got to look after him. We've got to keep him involved. And he's now picked up a bruised hand. I'm not sure that takes you off, but we won't take risks. We'll see if we can bring on some of the fringe players for you. Daly will go number 10, and we'll take off Griffiths for Sean Daniels, who now gets a run out. We're also going to bring on Bell for Williams at left back. I'm going to go for Mucklehatton up front for Simpson. Lafferty on the left-hand side for Varma, who's been average. I was tempted with the last sub to take off Daly for a rest, but he's very naturally fit. And we get all the fringe players on off the bench. We've got to try and keep people happy with game time. We've got to try and keep them developing. 15 to go. It's 2-0. It probably should be more. It's been a really comfortable performance. And a bit like the Dungannon game where we do score late goals, we've got that advantage now of being professional, training more, being fitter. And hopefully late in games we'll score more goals. But we've got ourselves through. We've rotated the squad. We've done everything we need to. McGrahatton's pass there is awful though, albeit Puarte presses and wins it back, gets towards the byline himself, and shot straight at McDonald. It's the one thing I will say looking at the scores now, as we go into 5 minutes of stoppage time, the gap between the top half and the bottom half is just getting bigger. There's a long ball forward, Keane mops it up, keeper came out and was in no man's land, but we get away with it. Curtis Bell can bring it away. Larn and Coleraine are 3 and 4 up respectively, as Daly brings the ball forward down the left to Lafferty. He's made an impact off the bench again. Crosses poor this time, no. McGrahatton can't get there. McDonald will play it away for Crusaders. They're just looking for the big ball over the top. Jones wins this one again. And Laughlin brings it down for Hale. Puarte with the block. He's been brilliant today. Brings it forward again. Has support. In towards McGrahatton. Has a man across the box if he can find him. Goes alone instead. And he sneaks it under the goalkeeper. Puarte gets the assist. He's deserved that. And McGrahatton still playing a role at this club. He scores the final goal. 3-0. A brilliant win. We're through to the next round of the League Cup. Want to win some trophies this season. And that is a perfect start for doing so. Well, deadline day passes without any further action. Jaffet and Pardy rejects Glentoran though. The transfer deadline has passed. We're going to have a few registration issues. But the finances look great. Albeit we've got a lot more expenditure this year. And although we didn't get the one we wanted, we did manage to get an improvement at right back. So we are going to be back, I think, to show our first European group stage match. Albeit it's a big league now, isn't it? It's Sheriff Tiraspol away in Moldova. And it's followed by my favourite competition. Alloa Athletic in the SPFL Trust Trophy. It's a horrible run of games the next month or so. Loads of away matches, including Linfield in the league, and no Sheriff and Alloa matches. And we've got an away draw in the League Cup next round as well. So it's going to be a real test for us. Hopefully we'll be able to respond to it. If you're looking forward to finding out if we do, seeing our European League stage debut, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know what you think of our transfer window this summer, because I've got to be honest, after going pro, I've been a little bit frustrated. And do you think without Linfield and Larne having group stage football, are we going to be able to compete with them in the league? They're going to get games ahead of us. They're going to be able to fly through fixtures. And if they start really well, we're going to have a lot of work to do. If you want to find out how we get on though, and how this season progresses, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll have more European football over the next few days. I hope you're looking forward to us focusing on that. In the meantime, we've also got some European action in the head coach for the first time. That one is up in the eye above with the latest season. There's also a link to the football podcast, the Twitch channel, and the blog story as well. But thank you very much for watching as always. Thank you for my voice for holding up slightly better than the last episode. And hopefully the same will be said again next time as I see you for our European League stage debut.